Here we are. This is my favorite chapter, I'll be honest with you. I ask my recruits these 5 questions all the time. This is how you're going to end your relationship with me or end your official visit with me. But these are questions you need to ask yourself. All right, now you're coming down to it. You just visited a school. Oh my goodness. They offered me a scholarship or they offered me a position on their team. I got an official offer from a college coach. Woo! Now, is this the right school for me? Okay, or one of the right schools. We're going to narrow down to one in the next chapter. And now we're just going to see, I'm taking my emotions out of this, and now I need to ask myself a couple of questions about this school. Not about their volleyball program, about this school. All right? The first question that you always need to ask, I've said it before, I'll say it again 100 times, probably not in this course, but in the next courses to come. The first question you need to ask yourself after your official visit and after you've been offered by the coach is, can I get a job with this degree? Volleyball is means to an end. There's a really good chance that you're not going to play professional volleyball. Okay? A very small amount of you that are watching this will play professional volleyball. But that's probably 1 out of a million. All right, and college volleyball in the United States, it is very small. I think it's less than probably 1 out of a million, to be honest with you. All right, so I need to figure out, can I get a job with this degree? Is the academics at this school rigorous enough and tough enough and respected enough that when I graduate with a degree from that institution, can I get a degree in 4 years playing volleyball? When I graduate with a degree, am I going to be able to do what I want to do? Whether that be go to grad school, whether that be prepare to go into the medical field, whether that be prepare to go into the mission field, whatever that is, at the end of 4 years, am I going to be able to do what I want to do with my life? That is the ultimate question. It is number 1 on the list because it is the most important. Can I get a job with this degree? Plain and simple, that is the paramount question you have to ask yourself. No other questions on my list matter as much as this one. Can I get a job with a degree from that school? If not, you're wasting your money, and if you get a full scholarship, you're wasting your time. You have got to move on. After volleyball is over, what do you have left? Okay? Number 2, can I live in this town? All right, I've coached at a lot of different places. I coached in California, in Birmingham, in Tuscaloosa, in Arkansas, in Orlando, in Gainesville, and now in Jackson, Mississippi. It sounds like a Bruno Mars song. Hollywood, Jackson, Mississippi. Anyway, Harlem, Hollywood, Jackson, Mississippi. We'll go over that later. But can I live in this town? Okay, I've been in a town that had 9,000 people in it. I've been in Orlando that has about 1 million people in it. Here in Jackson, the surrounding areas, about 500 to 600,000 people. Do you want to be in a small town? Do you want to be in a big town? Can you survive in this town? And you're like, well, I'm going to be in the gym all my life. No, you're not. Okay? There's going to be one day that you're going to have off. You're not going to be on campus. You want to go and grab some food. All right? Is there only McDonald's in the town? Is there options for you to go to eat around town? Is there only a Walmart? Is there a Walmart? What if you need, clothes or shoes or socks or toothpaste? Is the only place that's within 100 miles your bookstore? You have to think, can I live in this town? That's question number 2. And it's pretty relevant because, again, you have to go to that town. You have to live in town. You have to be safe in that town. You have to be able to get there and back from your house. Is there an airport? What happens if I want to go somewhere on spring break and I want to fly down to Florida or something? If I'm in Florida, what if I want to fly to Denver to go to ski? Can I live in this town? It's a huge question and it's something you need to ask yourself. Question number 3 is, can I play with this team? Now, let me tell you something, especially if you're just coming out of your sophomore year, that team's going to change a whole lot by the time you get there. Half the team by numbers or by probability is going to be off the team by the time you get there, because there's juniors and seniors that are going to graduate and you're going to be with the freshmen and sophomores that are there. Now, not even all the freshmen and sophomores will be back whenever you graduate. Even if you're a senior, that team's going to change a little bit. But you have to understand the culture of the team, and that's why it's so imperative to know the policies of the coach and to talk to the players to know the culture of what is going on within that program. Don't just look at the players, look at the culture of the team. What happens from year to year to year? Is it the same type of player that comes through that team? Can I play on this team? Is a question you have to ask yourself. If you hate every player in that locker room, do not go to the school. I don't care how much money they give you. If you can't play on that team, if you do not respect what the coach stands for and what the players stand for and what the school stands for, don't go to the school. Can I play on this team? It's a huge question to ask yourself. Question number 4, we talked about it before, but can you play with this coach? Can you play for this coach? Now, a lot of schools that you talk to, there's a good chance the coach is not going to be there. Every school, there's a small chance that the coach won't be there. I don't care how much he says, I'll be here when you graduate, I promise. Things happen. Can you play for the coach if he is there, though? That's the question you need to ask. Have you watched him in practice? Have you watched him in a game? Have you talked to the players about what his attitude is really like? That's a question you need to ask yourself. Can I play for this coach? Now, you might just talk to him on the phone or see him at a qualifier and he's dressed real nice. He looks real good. He wears his polo and some, he's got an Apple Watch and everything's cool with this guy or girl. All right? And they look beautiful. They look wonderful. They're so nice to you. But then you get in the gym after you say yes, they're like, come on! And they're yelling at you. You see them in a game and they're kicking things and they're yelling at referees and they're cussing people out during practice. Maybe you like that. Wonderful. But can you play for that coach? You need to ask people about the coach. Ask the players about the coach. Can you play for the coach? It's number 4 because there's a chance that he or she won't be there whenever you graduate from high school and you start playing there. But it's a question you need to ask because if he or she is there, then you're going to have to play for him. And if it's a struggle and it's a problem for you to play for this coach, you don't need to go to the school. The last question, number 5, is can I afford it? Now again, let's take away full scholarships. You have a full scholarship, I think you probably can afford it. If you don't have a full scholarship, you have to ask this question of yourself. Okay? There is a limit on how much you can afford. We have such a huge problem of student loans in this country. Don't say, well, I can just get a $25,000 a year loan and it'll be okay. Because when you graduate, you're going to have $100,000 of loans. Now, if you're going to be a lawyer right out of undergrad, wonderful. Maybe you can afford that. I can't. All right, Dave Ramsey says, debt is dumb, cash is king. Some of you, your parents are well off, and maybe both, and they've prepared for you a scholarship. They set money aside since you were born and said, we're going to make sure that she has the opportunity to go to whatever school they want to. If you have that parent in your life or parents in your life, consider it pure joy. That is an awesome opportunity. If your parents say, Susie or Samantha, you can go wherever you want, we're going to take care of it. What a great opportunity. If you get a full scholarship, what a wonderful opportunity. Congratulations, you've worked so hard for this, you deserve it. But if you're at a Division II school, a Division III school, maybe even a Division I school, or an NJCAA maybe, or an NCCAA maybe, and you don't have a full scholarship and you have to take money out of your pocket, you have to understand, can I afford it? That's a question you have to ask yourself. All right? Money doesn't grow on trees. I don't want you to take out a loan. I don't want you to leave college being in debt. Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey is the book you need to live by. Listen to him on Dave Ramsey's show. I listen to him all the time. I coach at a Division III school. Am I a hypocrite? I don't believe so. Because I try to recruit girls that their parents have prepared for this time. All right, I don't want to recruit a girl I ask them this question all the time. When you come in and you visit me, your last question before you leave is this question. I say, can you afford it? And that's a question you have to ask yourself. Can you afford it? Now, I am going to go on the other side of it because I have lived it personally in my life. I went to the University of Central Florida as a freshman in college. Nothing against UCF, but it's just not the school for me. My first English class I went to, my professor said, if you haven't smoked marijuana, you're a hypocrite. I went to a speech class and a girl says, everybody's having sex, so you have to wear a condom. And it's like giving a gun out to people. I won't get political and I won't get religious to you, but those are things that really hit me a little bit hard. I used the Bible as a reference on one of my papers and I got a 0. My professor says you can't use a book of fiction as a reference. And I understand where he's coming from, but it was really harsh to give me a 0 for it. And I was at a school that us Baptists call it backsliding. I never drank alcohol. I've never smoked anything in my life, cigarette or whatever. Never taken any drugs. But my life was not one that is respectable in Jesus' eyes whenever I was at University of Central Florida. It was not the school for me. Guess what? I was actually getting money back from UCF. I lived at home. My scholarship was awesome. It was great. But I was not at peace. I had a financial peace there, but I was not at peace at the school. I had an opportunity to go to Liberty University. If you know what Liberty is a very conservative school, okay? I'm a Baptist. I grew up Baptist. I hate denominations. We've already talked about that. I'm a Christian. I'm not a Baptist. I'm a Christian. But the opportunity came to go to Liberty. And I had to pay $6,000 a year. In 1995, that's a lot of money. $6,000 a year. I had to go there for 4 years because all my classes didn't transfer and I changed from sports broadcasting to mathematics. Those classes did not transfer. They didn't go over into math. So I had to go 4 years of math. So I had to go to school for 5 years. I didn't have to pay for my first year at UCF, praise God. But my 4 years at Liberty, I had to pay $6,000 a year. My mom said, I'd love to send you there. I'll take care of whatever you want, but that $6,000 is on you, buddy. And my mom's been wonderful since. I love her to death. She was widowed when I was a sophomore in high school. My first father passed away as well. So my mom was a single mom with 2 kids in college. My brother was at University of Florida. So she didn't have the money to send me to Liberty. So I took out a loan to go to Liberty. Yeah, debt is dumb, cash is king, just indeed. Took out a loan to go to Liberty. It was $24,000 for 4 years. And in 1999, that was a lot of money. But I still pay to this day. I haven't paid off my loans. I'm working, Dave Ramsey, I promise. I haven't paid off my loans yet. I pay about $200 a month, and now I'm paying about $1,000 a month. I'll probably be done before this thing even gets published this week. But that $6,000 was the best investment in myself of my life. If you have an opportunity for a full scholarship, I understand where you might say, that's the only place we're going. But for me, I want to ask you, how much is your happiness worth? If you can go to a school that's free to you and you're miserable, is that the school you really need to be at just because you're getting a full scholarship? If you can go to a school and it costs you $1,000 or $2,000 extra, now $6,000 might be a stretch, but for me it wasn't. Because it developed character in me, it got me away in development in my independence. I went to chapel 3 times a week. It developed my love for Jesus Christ. So when I ask you, can you afford it? There are some things that you're saying, well, it's only monetarily that I'm talking about. Can I afford it monetarily? I'm asking your happiness. Can you afford going to a school just because they give you a full scholarship or just because they're only asking you to pay $1,500 out of pocket instead of $3,000 out of pocket? If there's such a close thing, don't just look at the numbers. Look at who wants to invest in you and add value to you. I can't say this loud enough. Don't just go to a school because they give you money. Go to a school because you're supposed to be there. If you're a Christian, because God draws you there. And let me tell you this, He will provide. He is Jehovah Jireh. If you're not a Christian, you have no idea what I'm talking about. But please listen to me. You're going to have 4 years of misery, or you're going to try to transfer, and it's going to be crazy. Don't just go to a school because they give you a full scholarship. Now, if they give you a full scholarship in a school that aligns with your value system, go. Wonderful. Be blessed and have fun. But as you start to narrow down your schools down to about 5 to 3 right now, I want you to understand, can you afford it means more than just numbers and a checking account. Can you afford the type of person that comes out of that school? Whether it's a frat boy that drinks all the time, or a sorority girl that is like a mean girl, or it's a school that develops awesome young women. You can't afford to go anywhere else but there. Yes, it's a couple bucks extra, but you can save, you can work, you can do different things. So when I ask you those 5 questions, I know number five is in the bottom of the list. Can I afford it is the last question you have to ask yourself. But it's a big question to talk about. Players, if your parents can't afford it, and if you can't afford it, do not go to a school. But if it's a little bit of money, again, you can get $1,000 a month driving for Domino's. I did it myself, part-time. I made $1,000 to $1,500 a month delivering pizzas. You can start right now and get scholarship after scholarship after scholarship. There was a player of mine that got $7,000 worth of scholarships in her senior year. She didn't work anywhere. That was her job, applying for scholarships. Go to salliemay.com, go to put in collegescholarships.com, and just fill out 3 scholarships a night. 3 scholarships a night in 1 year, you have 1,000 scholarships you applied for. Maybe you only get 1, but that 1 is worth $10,000 over 4 years, which is $40,000. I think that's $40,000 for 1 hour a night is pretty nice return on your investment. Okay? But the questions you need to ask yourself, the first question is, can I get a job with this degree? The second question is, can I live in this town? The third question is, can I play on this team? The culture that this team has, not just the players, but the team itself, can I play on this team? Number 4, can I play for this coach? It is necessary, but there's a small chance, every single school, there's a small chance that coach won't be there, okay? But you have to be able to play for that coach that's there now in case he or she is still there. And then lastly, can I afford it? Again, don't sacrifice your character for money. It's not good. Okay? The love of money is the root of all evil. Don't love money. Don't love a full scholarship. Don't be a D1 snob. Okay? Go to a place that God calls you to, or that you feel at peace about. Have a financial peace about it too. You have to have a financial peace. So don't think I'm just sitting here as a Division III coach saying, spend all your money because I can't give you a full scholarship. That's not what I'm talking to you about. I'm saying that money doesn't buy happiness. Your happiness comes from being at the school that God wants you to be at. If you're not a Christian, I still believe God is at work in your life. Got it? Thanks for your talk. That's it right now. We've narrowed it down to 5. Okay? Okay, so now we've gone on our 5 official visits, or by now, I hope that after you've asked all these 5 questions, you have 3 to 5 schools on your list. Maybe just 2. The last chapter is coming up. It's getting exciting. We're going to narrow it down to your dream school. The school you're going to spend 4 years at, the school you're going to be an alumni at, the school that you're going to play volleyball at. It's exciting stuff. It's coming up next in the next chapter. All right, thanks for listening. Sorry for going off on a rant, but I really believe in this. I want to add value to you. And for me to add value to you, I have to be truthful. And I have to tell you what my heart is. So as a teacher, as somebody that wants to add value to you and to speak into your life, please listen. Don't just listen with your ears. Listen with your heart and with your mind. Got it? I'm done. Thanks. I'll see you in the next chapter. God bless.